I think that he should, Brad Pascal running his campaign. What do you think about that? I think I just didn't get enough sleep last night. I had no intention of mixing them up.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
Joy Behar, that lady on The View, fell into this problem when she was announcing that Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor. She referred to him as him.
Sonny, he's got this guy, Brad Pascal, running his campaign. What do you think about that? I mean, that guy was accused of using campaign funds to enrich himself. What? That's who's running his campaign, her campaign, rather. I would go along with that. I think that should take a seat and let somebody with the credentials take over a major state like California.
So I've never said this before, but Joy Behar, I think, is a good example of most of America. I don't think that Joy Behar did this intentionally. I don't think this was a subtle dig. I mean, she kept correcting herself. She said, yeah, and I don't think he should, maybe it was a subtle dig at the transgender thing, but I think more likely Joy Behar, woman of a certain age, remembers Bruce Jenner. The guy's been famous for a very long time, and he's the most famous athlete in the world. He's the first woman to win the decathlon, right? And we've all known him as he since he was on the Wheaties box. And over the last few years, he's pretending to be she, but for people who remember him, you can't do that. It's very difficult to do that. So what does Joy Behar do? She apologizes.
So first of all, let me apologize for my pronoun mix-up. I think I just didn't get enough sleep last night. I had no intention of mixing them up, and I tried to correct it immediately, but whatever, it just came out. So I'm sorry if anybody was upset by that.
I can believe that she had to apologize. This apology didn't sound particularly sincere to me. She's like, I don't know, I mixed it up. Come on, give me a break. Come on. If you're offended, whatever, I'm sorry. I have heard conservatives, I question how conservative they are, but self-styled conservatives have referred to the misgendering of Caitlyn Jenner. Misgendering is a leftist term that refers to when you call a man, but if the man thinks he's a woman and you call him a man, that's called misgendering. Now, of course, the more precise term would be gendering. The only people misgendering Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner now, are the ones who are referring to him as her. But even some self-styled right-wingers are adopting this language. Even some self-styled right-wingers are saying, no, really, come on, to be polite, we should refer to him as her. Quite the opposite, actually. Quite the opposite. It's disrespectful to refer to him as her. No, it's not. It's disrespectful to treat him like a complete lunatic and indulge his fantasies and say, oh, yes, you really are a woman, sir, lady, whatever. No, the truth is respectful. It can be harsh sometimes, and euphemisms try to sugarcoat harsh truths, but the truth is respectful, and lies are very disrespectful. You don't lie to people that you respect. You certainly don't habitually lie to them, as in the case of referring to Caitlyn Jenner as a woman. This idea, very prominent on the left now, that lies are compassionate and the truth is cruel, that is a wicked, totally backwards idea. And if conservatives adopt that, we're lost. We are totally lost. And therein lies the real poison of the Jenner candidacy. You're already seeing some conservatives adopt this language. You got to stop this before it gets too far. Regardless of how the California election turns out, Caitlyn Jenner is more the norm in this regime than the average conservative is. Yes. Oh, we think Caitlyn Jenner is a sideshow, a reality TV star, a famous athlete going back many decades, who's now making even more of a spectacle of himself. He is much more the norm. He is much more accepted by the dominant liberal regime than you deplorable people are. You deplorable, irredeemable, Bible-thumping, bitter-clinging middle Americans. You are considered the oddity. You are considered the bizarre. You should be part of the circus. Caitlyn Jenner, no, he's just a man following his true self because he's trapped inside the wrong body or whatever. This is the dominant ideology. It goes by the name LGBT. Right now, even this initialism doesn't make any sense, because the logic for the L and the G totally undermines the logic for the T. The logic for the L and the G is, I'm born this way, I have certain sexual desires, you can't change these sexual desires, it's very wrong to shame people for their desires, and so come on, when boys from a very early age are attracted to other boys, just come on, let them do it, right? Okay, I totally understand that logic. The logic of the T is, actually, no, there's no such thing as innate sex. Forget innate sexual desire. There's no such thing as innate sex. Sex is totally socially constructed. There's really no difference between a man and a woman, and therefore, a man can be a woman very easily just by saying so. That logic undercuts the other logic. Now, there is a little bit of a connection here in that the gender ideologues took one of the claims of the T took one of the claims of the L and the G and brought it to a radical conclusion. And that claim is that, for the logic, for instance, of gay marriage, the claim here is that man plus man equals man plus woman, right? That's the equal sign. That these are exactly the same thing. There's no distinction whatsoever. Sexual difference has nothing to do with marriage. So if you just do a little basic math here, if M plus M equals M plus W, then that means, you take out some of the M's here, you kind of mixed around, that M equals W. It means that men and women are indistinguishable by the logic of redefining marriage. So then what the transgender ideologues do is they take that and they say, okay, well, if men and women are indistinguishable, then Bruce Jenner can become Caitlyn Jenner, and he can now become she, and there's no problem here. It's obviously very convoluted. It's a little bit complex. But this is the state ideology now. Hey, wait a second, don't go anywhere. I've had some people write into me and they say, Michael, for some reason, I'm not getting notifications for your show. Hey, Michael, for some reason, even when I search for your show, the videos aren't always popping up. Yeah, I think it's because our overlords don't love us necessarily in this big tech space. Make sure you smash that button, you like, you subscribe, you do everything in your power to get those notifications. You still probably won't get them, but it'll give you a better chance of not missing a single video.